Yo, what up? It's your man Nelly, and you're tuned in to That Grape Juice. Holla.
Hello, That Grape Juice viewers. Today's guest is an artist who is synonymous with longevity. Before hip hop was the pop music of today, this artist ignited the singles charts with #1 singles that to this day sound as fresh as if they were released last week Friday. Viewers, help me in welcoming Mr. Cornell Haynes Jr., better known as Nelly.
Look
Welcome.
at that. I'm good, man. Thank you so much, brother. How you?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm great, man. Thanks for asking. How about yourself?
I'm well. So let's get right into this. You are
Mhm.
going to be the 2021 recipient of the I Am Hip Hop Award. How does that make you feel to have that impact on
You-
culture?
No, it feels good, man. I mean, it reminds you of how old you are, so to speak. when you start running down these awards,
Right.
but but again, you're grateful and you're thankful, and I always want to thank BET, man. BET has always held Nelly down since day one. So they're like family. They're like family. I literally grew up in BET. I mean, on BET's television and all throughout in their buildings and out of their buildings. And even when it came to partnering with Bob Johnson, when it came to the Bobcats, who's now the Charlotte Hornets, it's shout out to Deborah Lee. She's always been in my corner, held me down. And it's just one of those things where you're thankful, bro. And yeah, man, you can't believe that it's been that long, but I mean,
Right.
I
Right.
appreciate it.
Of course. So I mentioned in your introduction that hip hop music is the pop music of today. But
Right.
growing up, I was a wee little high when I listened to your records back in the day, and I always felt that you transcended even as a hip hop artist. Did you know that your records were going to have those effects, or was that intentional?
No, I mean you hope for it. I mean any artist. That's what artists strive for in art. And when I say in art, I mean in all the art forms, whether it's painting, whether it's dance, whether it's music. You hopefully you create something that withstands the test of time and give people the same feeling as the day that they first heard it, as the day that they heard recently. You know what I mean? And hopefully you can create memories. And I think what has happened for me is that music means the most normally music means the most to you when you're going through school. You know what I'm saying? Like usually when you're going through school, that's when music means the most to you. That's when it's like, yo, I gotta have this. This concert is coming. I gotta go. You promise you'll do whatever. I'll clean the bathrooms. I'll do this. I'll do whatever, man. Just give me some money. Boom, 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 boom. And once you become older and you have responsibilities, it's kind of like, yeah, Nelly coming to town, but I got to pay these bills. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go to his concert or whatever the case may be. So it's just a little bit different, once you become older. Not that you don't appreciate or that you don't still love that artist. It's just priorities become a little bit different. And the memories that you're creating, whether it was homecoming, whether it was prom, whatever song this was, your first girlfriend, this was the song y'all danced to, this was this and this was that. That's when music normally transcends. So I think I'm at a time now where people such as yourself who are in these high powered positions that basically grew up with Nelly.
Mhm.
It's like, yo, what are we doing? We're forgetting about what this guy means to people like me and to others, because I did the same thing. I did the same thing when I was your age. I looked at people. That's why a lot of us hold Tupac and Biggie in such high regards. You know what I mean? Because those were the times where we were in that position as well.
Right. So you just released your latest studio album, Heartland,
Yeah.
and that trinity of songs together is Someone Somewhere, Five Drinks to Go, Follow Me. Those are my
Mhm.
favorite.
Thank you
And
so much.
right, one of your original projects, Country Grammar,
Mhm.
title Country, but now you're actually making
Mhm.
a country album. So where was
Right.
that? What's the inspiration behind that?
Well, I don't call those country albums out of respect for country music artists and all of that, because you know, Garth Brooks can't wake up and decide he's going to do a rap album. I would be like, oh, okay. But what you can do is what I like to call my album country influence. It's country influence. You know what I'm saying? It's my appreciation for the love that the country world has shown Nelly since Country Grammar, since like what you said. Why? Because I was getting booked at country fairs, rodeos, and all that in my first album. I would literally go from a show to where it would be a major country artist headlining. A day later, hop on a plane and go do a show, and it's a major hip hop star headlining. Right. I'm doing the same show. I'm doing the same songs. I'm doing the same dances. I'm almost rocking the same shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just clean. It's fresh. Right. You know, it's still a white tee with my chain on and everything. And my jeans are still a 40 and they baggy as shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm doing the same things. And I didn't understand that, what was going on, because, you know, we're new and we just know we're getting paid to do a show, and we go out there and we do our thing. And we know that the audience is singing every word. It didn't matter what show it was, they were singing the freaking words. And, you know, I didn't understand later that I was truly blessed to have that type of appeal that could go across. Now, young brother, you see what you have. Now, how you gonna manifest that, and how you gonna work that, and how you gonna show other little brothers and sisters that, okay, you could spread yourself across music so tough that a lot of people, you know, if music was a house, a lot of people can only get in the house through one door. You know what I'm saying? I can get in music through the front door, the back door, the side door, the window, the garage. It don't matter. I can get in. You know what I mean? And that's something that I never wanted to take for granted, but it's also something that I acknowledged and I understood that I was blessed to have. So, you know, you want to manifest that into something.
Right. And so on this album, you have a lot of great collaborations, and you've collaborated with some great people in the past: Kelly Rowland, Janet Jackson, Jagged Edge. What were some of your most memorable collaborations? The process.
I think some of those exactly what you said. You know what I'm saying? Definitely the Janet one was really dope. And even in the video, the Call on Me video, I was so freaking nervous. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. I'm not a nervous. I'm more anxious. I'm ready to go, but I don't get nervous. And, you know, I could count on one hand how many times I was actually nervous in a scenario where I was like, "Holy shit!" Dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think it was like one of the, you know, I did hip hop honors, and I had to do LL Cool J. That was one where I was like, "Holy shit!" You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I had to, you know, I'm standing behind Janet in the Call on Me video, you know, I got my shirt off, I got my chain on, and she's dancing, and I'm stiff as shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God, Janet. You know what I'm saying? And she's grabbing, she's like, "It's okay, Nelly." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh God, this is too much. You know, but I think that was one of the collaboration, and she's so sweet, man. She's like a big sister, and I'm very fortunate for that relationship. But my collaborations, man, I just feel as long as we can make great music, I appreciate anybody that wants to collaborate with Nelly that's already established themselves in a sense of, you know, they have their own walk. They have their own walk, and they choose to create with me so we can walk together. That's the blessing.
Well, I feel like that's why you still have a career after 20 plus years. So there's that. But your philanthropic efforts throughout your career, you've been known to give back. How are you doing that today?
Well, of course, man. You always looking to, you know, give back. I mean, when you come from like where it comes from, like literally, you hear that term in rap now, getting it out the mud and all of that. But no, you know, I literally got it out the mud. Like literally, my career came clean out the mud. It's not like a lot of these other rappers, no disrespect to anybody rapper, but Nelly did not have a cosigner. A lot of these people had cosigners. You name them, they had some type of cosign. You know what I'm saying? Like my Uncle Snoop, he had the great Dr. Dre. Biggie had Puff. Tupac had Digital Underground. 50 Cent had Eminem and Dr. Dre. Right. You see what I'm saying? Nelly had nobody. Nelly came out of St. Louis. not really known from where he's from or any of that. So, you know, I, again, you just want to put yourself in a great position, man. And I'm just thankful for any of
Right. So, like piggybacking off of that,
it.
do you feel that your career is worth more to you that you did not have a cosign, or do you feel any less or more about it?
Well, I feel that's basically why it's almost underrated.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the stem that is not looked at. That should be almost like the biggest of damn, bro. Like no, like he came all on his own, all on his own. It wasn't no, yo, look at this. Like his music didn't sound like nobody. Nobody was standing next to him. He came with his own. He came from a place that wasn't known for doing this. Like even if it was like it wasn't a scene here like that. That was national or
Right.
nothing like that. Like it's almost like if you're a fan of basketball, a lot of people are looking like, yo, okay, well, you win a championship with some of these super teams, but then, you take somebody and they go win a championship that maybe only has one or two all-stars on it. And they look at it as like, wow, he did it. He didn't have to go pair up with anybody. You know what I mean? Like, but it's not taken as on an overall scale. People don't look at like what Giannis just did, accomplishing his championship kind of with his team and with himself, as opposed to being as big as what Kevin Durant might have did going with Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, people look at the Golden State team, that championship, as being a little bit bigger as opposed to what my man just did, but they're equal. Man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think when it comes to just being looked at on an overall scale and some way say getting your flowers, but I mean, I'm only saying that because we talking and you asking. Like, I ain't one to be sitting out here crying about it, but I'll talk about it.
Right.
I'm not gonna let it. I'm just not gonna let it stop me. I figure one day people will realize it, and it'll be decided for itself.
Well, I don't see you stopping anytime soon, but before I'm going to let you go in a moment, but
Yeah.
next for you, what's happening in the future for Nelly?
Well, I mean, right now, I think we all just fighting through the COVID situation. You know what I'm saying? And I know you were asking about the philanthropy thing and like that, and like everything's kind of been a little bit on hold, because normally I do this thing called the black and white ball, upon which I send 2 kids to college. Every year. I had done it for like the past 11 years. I think all up until, I think the last one we did was like 2016 or something like that. And then, but we're looking to get back into the swing of things. And I think this was part of the reason we didn't do it in 19, which we had it scheduled, was because of COVID. So, I mean, I don't know what's really next. I know we're going to get back to that. I know we're definitely going to get back to doing what we do here in St. Louis and trying to help better our community. And hopefully, I don't know, man. Hopefully I'll be talking to you in another 20 years and we be talking about some type of other different award, and we be sitting here laughing about some shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, those are the goals for me, man. I'm just thankful, bro, because I couldn't imagine being here today. I mean, I could dreamed it, but to imagine it means I'd have had to be woke. And if I'm a woke daydreaming, then I'm not working. So I don't imagine. I dream because I'm asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I'm woke, I'm up trying to get it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to thank you, first of all, for saying pandemic at the beginning of that answer, because living here in New York City, it's almost like living in a bubble in a way, because I heard somebody say the other day that New York City is the Tulum of this travel season. Like, everybody's just flocking here because it's almost as if, well, I shouldn't say that, but people are coming here because things are opened up, everybody's vaccinated. So thank you for being aware and letting people know that the pandemic is still happening. But,
yeah.
But on that note, we want to thank you here at That Grape Juice. You've been amazing. You are.
Thank you, champ. I appreciate it.
So continue doing great things, and we
Same
look
to you,
forward
bro.
to see you in another 20 years.
I hope so, bro, man. Thank you so much. Thank Grape Juice. I appreciate the love for all of it. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully so, champ. Hold it down.